Okay, welcome everyone to the November 19th, 2023 VPPR Learning Lab in Founders District. My name is Simone Nash, and I'm currently serving as the PR manager for this district. Now I'd like to share my slide deck. Okay, so open my PowerPoint. Okay, all right. So what's in today's session? We're going to talk a little bit about newsletters. It's not as big a job or as complicated as it might seem like. And I'm going to talk about two options you can use. And then we're going to do more on Canva, starting with Zoom backgrounds. I think that's quite a useful topic. You can see behind me, this is a Zoom background that I made in a matter of minutes in Canva. So it's super easy. And then we will dive a bit into our promotional flyers in Canva. Okay. All right. So first of all, why would we want to have a newsletter? Whether you're a community club or a corporate club, a newsletter could be useful to just update your members and also guests on news about your club. So for example, you could show, let me show you an example here. Okay. Here's one example. This is just a mock-up, okay? So it's not something that's being published. But you can see, you can show your future meeting information and so on. I will definitely go into this a little bit more detail. But there's two methods I want to talk about today briefly. Firstly, Toastmasters International has an awesome newsletter template. It's a Word document, and you can just go in there and modify it. And the other way I want to talk about is using Canva. And both ways, not complicated. Maybe the first time you set it up, you need to spend a little bit more time, but once you've got your first one done, it's really just a matter of switching out your information. All right, so this is what the Toastmasters International Word document newsletter template looks like. It's very simple. It is a Word document. You just download it and you just start editing. And it's already branded. This is an example. This is actually from another district friend of mine who is in a corporate club, uses the monthly newsletter to keep his members in the corporate club up to date with what's going on. And you can see here that the content looks pretty simple. And so on the left side, inside this issue, he has one featured article from the Toastmasters magazine, and then he has information about upcoming meetings. And so on the left side, the menu, then all he has there is just a list of the offices. Okay, so his is just a one page. He says sometimes it's 2 pages. It depends if there's something special happening. Maybe there's news about district training he might put in there. But he tries to keep it pretty simple. Okay, and you can see here it looks nice. It's attractive looking format. It's very simple, but just pull it up so you can see more of that. So this particular issue is very simple here. On the left also, he's got the information about the meeting dates. Okay, and he's put a few links into his newsletter. The other way is, and by the way, I will post the PDF file for this slide deck in the chat box in a few minutes. And all of the links that you see from PowerPoint, you will be able to click on them, click those links in the PDF file. Okay, so including the TI template I just showed. All right, now this is an example, just a mock-up in Canva for a branded newsletter. Okay. And I'm going to now go into Canva. Okay. Let me expand this a bit. Okay. So this is the mock-up that you just saw. This is live in Canva. And what I did was on the left side, so I've clicked on the black menu on the left at the top, design, and then it showed me a number of templates for newsletters. So what I did in the very beginning was I came to my home screen, and I just typed in here newsletter. You can see that newsletter. And it came up with a whole bunch of templates, and I just clicked on them. I just chose what I wanted to do. Okay, let's go back to this one. All right, so here you see all the different templates on the left. Okay, so there are many templates that would be very nice, very suitable for a Toastmasters Club newsletter. You know, I see some area directors here today. You could even do a newsletter for your area as well. Okay, it really is fun, and it's a great way to provide information to others. Okay, so this is absolutely a mock-up. Okay, Dinah, you can see I've used your poster here. Okay, so what I've got here with this particular mock-up is, so I've got the heading. Okay, it's the November newsletter, and the top part here is promoting the next two meetings. Okay, so I have the first meeting poster here. I'll show you how I did this in a moment. And then in the middle, I just thought, okay, I'll put a link for signing up for meeting roles, and then a bit of a recognition for our Pathways Achievers. Okay, so that's just the first page that I've done. All right. So this is the newsletter templates give you multiple pages to use. So let me just show you how to modify this second page to make it branded. So originally, the coloring and the fonts and everything looked like this. Okay, so this light blue and so on. Okay, and I transformed it into the branded version. Okay, all right. Okay, so what we do is, first of all, with the color, okay, so click on the light blue, click up the top, the little blue tile, and I'm going here. I've already put the Toastmasters International branded colors into my color deck here. So I'm going to choose the blue. Okay, and the fonts, right now it's DM Sans. Okay, you can choose Arial or Montserrat. It's all good. So down the bottom here, right down the bottom on the left, says change all. Yep, I want to change all. Okay, and this yellow here is not the right yellow, so I'm going to maybe make that gray, or I could make it any color, white also. All right, and then the photo. How do you add a photo? I'm just going to put the size back in. Okay, so let's come to our, on the left side, the black menu, down the middle, there's uploads. Okay, uploads. So just say I want to put a picture of, okay, let's say this poster. Okay, so all I do here is just put it in. Okay, so it's transferred into that picture block. However, you can see the formatting doesn't look right. So I'm going to double click this poster. Let me just get rid of detach the images first. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to make it into the size that I want. Okay, and I'm going to put this in. There you go. So the problem just now, I'm not sure if I went too quickly for you. Let me just go backwards again. Okay. Just going backwards. So the original picture was too long. And so my poster picture is a square. So what I really need to do first is I'll make this into a square. Now I want to get rid of this picture. So you can either, right? Oh, it doesn't allow me to do that. Okay, I'll just put this straight in. That's the easiest way. Okay, so you see what I did? I made the photo block into the right size, and then that way my poster will fit. Okay, and then you can just edit the text areas. You can add additional photos. So I can just click on this poster photo, copy, and then paste. I could make another one. All right. And then say if you want to put let me find another photo. Okay, let's put a picture of Natalie in there, our Central Division Director. Okay, so maybe there's some news about one of our members, an achievement of some sort. Then we can do that. And see, the head is cut off at the top, so I'm going to double click this and just move the picture down. Okay, so you can just play around with it and make it the way you want it to be. Okay, so I'm not going to spend the time to fix all of the branding here, but just show you quickly how I did that. Any questions about newsletters right now before I move on?
Hey, Simone, I like maybe two questions. So first of all, where do you post this then? Do you post this on your free toast host, or do you send it out to, like, email it to the members?
Yes, you definitely either, or you can even you can email it, especially for corporate clubs, but even for your community club, maybe if you're using free toast host, maybe the next time your club sends out an agenda, can include the newsletter in that email, so it's not too many separate emails. Or, if sending a separate email with a newsletter is not a big deal either.
Right. Okay, I was just wondering how you use it. And then I guess I see a little bit more use for it, like this one, the first one, just to kind of remind people of the meetings. I mean, most club members know, we meet every Wednesday. They don't need too much of a reminder of that, but I like this because then you're highlighting accomplishments too.
Right. Well, the thing about the meetings, reminders, this could also be useful to provide to, repeat guests, or even, a member might think, oh, the newsletter looks great and it's got the meeting information on it. So I could just share that with my friend and they'll come, So it could serve, dual purpose. Yeah. Depending on, what information you put in it. And, like what I mentioned before, it doesn't have to be multiple page. Like my friend in Hawaii, he normally just creates a one page newsletter. But if you 2 pages, that's also okay. All right. Any other questions? Thanks for those questions, Vicky. And any other questions from anybody on newsletters before I move on? Okay. All right then. I'm going to go back to my slide deck. Okay. In case you're wondering, what am I doing right now? You could see my whole screen just now, but now you can only see my slide. What I've done here is when I share screen, I go to advanced and I select portion of screen. That way, I can show you exactly what I want to show you. And I don't have to go into slide mode for when I'm presenting. That makes it easier for me as a presenter. Okay, just share that with you. All right, now let's get into Zoom background. So this is the Zoom background you see that I'm using. Well, actually the one I'm using on, oops, the other side, up here on my, well, I will say maybe on my left side, you can see my name and my role. So you can create a Zoom background for your regular meetings if you're meeting online. Also, if you have some special event, you can create a Zoom background. So, and you can add your name as well. Okay, so just like this one. All right, so let's get back into Canva again. Let me see. Back to Canva. Okay, into okay, so now we're back in Canva. And this one, this is a, oh, I think I did this very, very quickly because I just wanted to throw something together to just demonstrate that it is pretty easy. Okay, so I'm going to click design on the left, top left menu, the black menu. Okay, so I just randomly chose a design. Okay, so let me show you. This is the template that I used. Okay, so the colors are all totally different, but I kept the shapes and the stars, and I simply changed the coloring to be branded. That's all I did. Okay, so you may like or not like this Zoom background. That's okay from a design point of view. I just want to demonstrate that it can be quite easy just to transform this kind of just what totally is not branded into a branded version very easily. So all I did was, for example, the blue. Okay, so if I click on the blue circle here and I click on the blue tile up top, okay, and I can change the color. Okay, so you need to load your Toastmasters branded colors in. Okay, and hopefully you know how to do that. If you don't, please ask me towards the end of the session. I will do a quick demo. Okay. And
oh, wait, did you just say that you would show us how to get a different palette for ourselves in our Canva account? Or can you show us how to set up a palette like that?
Yes. Well, okay, I can quickly do that now. So what you do is when you're actually in a design, you know, click so the color was not right before. Let's just click this one. Okay. So click the color, whoops, the color tile up top. And this account that I'm showing you using right now is a paid account. So I have, you know, endless number of colors I can add to my TM branded palette. Okay. But if you are using a free account, then Canva allows you to add three branded colors. Now, if you can only add three, I would suggest you add the blue, the red, and the yellow. Okay. Gray can be useful sometimes, maybe as a little bit of an accent color or contrast. But I personally, in terms of design, I don't use it very often. So for me, if I was only going to choose three colors for the you know, the branding here for the color deck, I would choose blue, red, and yellow. Okay, so let's go in there and edit. Okay, so I'm just going to delete my red, pretend I don't have that, so I can show you how to add it. Okay, so just press plus. Okay, and see down the bottom, okay, there's a hash, that's the hex code for the color. And so the color code for the red for Toastmasters is 772432. Okay, 772432. I think that's right. Okay, so yep, that looks right. So that's how you add a color. And where are the color codes? Well, in the slide deck, I have one slide there with all of the color codes. Okay, so I will post the PDF in a moment in the chat box. Okay, all right, so just say here we want to change the color to red, and that's what we do. Now, in this case, can you see that the color, that circle looks a bit off? Something's wrong with it, okay? That's because it's semi-transparent. So when I saw that, I thought, what's wrong with this color? That's not the color I was expecting. So I clicked on this, what is it, checkerboard kind of icon up the top here. And I found that, oh, it's 69% transparent. So it's set at the 69 setting. So I'm going to move that back to fully non-transparent, 100%. And so now you see that red is the proper red. Okay, so that's all you do. And then this background, did you notice it's not a boring gray? Oh, I don't want to say the Toastmaster color is boring, but as I mentioned, the gray is not my favorite gray. So if I want gray as part of any graphic that I'm doing, I will use the gradient, the silver gradient. And so let me show you. Okay. Now in the brand manual, and by the way, Toastmasters has updated their brand manual. So if you go to the brand portal, and again, I have a link for that in the PDF slides. If you go to the brand portal, one of the things you'll find is the gradients. They give us specifications for the gradients, but they don't actually provide the gradient, picture file. So I created all of the available gradients, and those picture files, PNG files, are in a Google Drive, and the link is in the PDF file for you. Okay, so you can just go in and download all those PNG files. Okay, so let's come back to this. This particular gray, I've just selected. I think this is the gradient that I chose. So it's just a picture file. Okay, and what I did was I just moved it so that I would cover the entire, okay, just doesn't have to be exact. Okay, so it covered the entire size of my graphic. And now a lot of things have disappeared. So what do? On my mouse, I right click, okay, and then see in the middle, layer. And I'm going to send this silver graphic right to the back. So I'm just going to choose send to back. And there you go. Right. And so sometimes if you have a lot of layers, have a lot of elements in your graphic, it can get a little bit tricky. And so if you're trying to send things backward or forward, and it's not quite working, then you press layer, and down the bottom it says show layers. Okay, now on the left side it's showing you all of the elements that you have in your poster in order. Okay, so we can see the stars are right up front. Okay, and it goes all the way back. So you can see where our silver graphic is. Okay, so in this poster, I don't have a lot of elements, and the silver graphic is right at the back. So that's all good. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is how we can just change the branding. Very similar, same concept, not similar, same concept as how we modified the newsletter, the Canva newsletter template, right? So just like with the Canva newsletter template, we can go to designs. So down here, I can just add a new page. So you can go to designs, and you just you can just look at what looks interesting or nice. What do you think your club would like? Okay. Try to choose something simple so that it's easy to make it branded. Okay, I'm just flipping through some of them. Okay, this could be definitely is a candidate. Okay, so it you can imagine if that was your Zoom background, your image would be just right here in the middle somewhere. Okay, so these colored blocks, you would simply just follow the same method, click on one of them, change the color, right? Okay. Same with the dots. Make sure every single thing here, you change it to the branded color. Okay, and then your font. So right now it's on Poppins, so you can choose Montserrat. Okay, and oops, down the bottom, remember when you change colors or fonts, it will give you the option down the bottom on the left, change all, the purple block, change all. So I normally just click change all, especially if it's for the font. Okay, but you still need to check. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so that's about it. It's, in terms of the, let me see, in terms of the Zoom backgrounds, I do want to just show you something I did for another club. This is one of my local clubs where I live. I made a set of 3 backgrounds, and I use here, you can see I use the silver gradient. This is the blue gradient. Doesn't that look so pretty? The blue gradient. This is not the plain blue, the loyal blue. This is the blue gradient. So I love using the gradients because it just takes my designs up to the next level. And this is one of the red gradients. Okay, so super simple. And then another thing that I did with Zoom backgrounds is I was a contest timer recently for another district. And so I just created a whole bunch of these. Break time, 5-minute break time over, because the contest Toastmaster was announcing these things, and I thought, and she's asking me to time all of these things, like, the 1 minute of silence and 2 minutes of silence, whatever she told me. She wanted me to tell her when 1 minute is up. So I thought, hey, I'll just make all of these Zoom backgrounds and I can show them, and that was really cool. And she really appreciated this. So this is so simple. And, these backgrounds, of course, I didn't create those, the red and the blue. These are standard backgrounds from Toastmasters International. Okay, so if you look up Toastmasters International Zoom backgrounds, you'll find these on Google, or you can download them from the website. Okay, all I did was just add the text. Okay, so I see, let me see what's, okay. Oh, good. Okay, thanks to Julie. Julie's in the house. Thank you, Julie. And she's put into the chat box about the setting up your colors. That's fantastic. And a couple of questions in Q&A. Okay. All right. I wonder, Julie, if you could, let me make Julie where's Julie? Let me make Julie a co-host, and then Julie can help me to manage questions. Okay. Would that be okay, Julie?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Julie and I are the best partners. Fantastic. All right, so now let's come back to our, okay, so any questions about the Zoom backgrounds before I move on now to the Canva flyers?
Simone, what size design do you pick? Usually when I say I want to design something, it asks me, do I want a Facebook size? It asks me what size I want.
Okay, so for the Zoom background, there is actually a Zoom background size. Like there's a, let me see, the top, back to home. Yeah, so along here, if you just, if you just flick through it, eventually, here we go, Zoom background.
Who would have known?
Yeah, it's really cool. And sometimes it doesn't show all of it. I don't know why, but then you can just come up here and click search. Okay. And then the newsletter should be here as well. And if it's not, then just like what I did, click search. I mean, they have so many templates. It's amazing. Yeah. I don't see the
I had
newsletter
no
here.
idea.
Yeah. So, that's why I searched for the newsletter template and it came up. Yeah, that's a great question. Thanks a lot. Okay. Any other questions about the Zoom background?
Oh, and then when you share it with others, you keep that same format, or is it a ping, a PDF, what?
Oh, so what I do is I will, for example, let's say if I wanted to share this very simple pastime pursuits background, I would go to the, say I'm just ready with a design, I'm done, right? So this is our Zoom background. I would go to the top right-hand corner where it says share. There's a share and an upward arrow. I just click that. And then I click download, okay? And then I make sure that I'm selecting the right file type. So you could do JPG, PNG, or PDF, whatever. But for a Zoom background and any downloadable graphics, I always suggest or always use their suggested format, which is PNG, okay, for the best looking graphic file format. So I've got PNG selected, and then just come here to pages. You don't want to download all pages, so you want to specify the first one. That's the one I want anyway. So I just click done, and then I click download. Once you click download, then it will show you your file, your computer's file folder, and you can type in whatever file name you want, and then you save it on your computer. And then once it's in your computer, then you're free to share it, whether it's in WhatsApp or whatever method you want to share it. Yeah. Okay, does that answer the question?
Yes, it does.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Anybody have any other questions? Did I hear something?
I see Carlos wanted you to click on the create a design.
Create a design.
Yeah.
Okay. You mean in the home page?
I'm not sure, Carlos.
Carlos,
No, it was just a comment because the lady was asking where to find the creation she wanted. So when you in the upper right corner, you have create a design, so you have the options there.
Right. That's there as well. Yeah. Yeah. So at the top right-hand side, the purple box, create a design. Yeah. Okay. I tend to, what I always do is I just come here to the try something new. I look for the one I want, and then I just click it. And if I don't find it, I just do the search. But you're right, Carlos, that's another way, create a design. Okay. Right. So any other questions or comments before I move on? Okay. All right. So now to the home stretch. The home stretch is our...
Wait, I think Diana has a question. Diana Garofalo has a question, but we don't hear your audio for some reason.
It's 1 minute, so next intern.
Maybe Diane, could you maybe type it into chat Oh, I saw Diana's chat message, Diana. Each of those text boxes were created separately and then added to the newsletter. Okay. Let's see. Go back to my newsletter. Okay, so we're back here in the newsletter. So the template, the original template, this second page shows the original template. Okay, so it already had text boxes. So what I did with the text boxes is I just changed the font. I just clicked the whole text box, and then up here with the font, I clicked the font, and then you know, I selected Arial in this case, but you could select one of the oops. Oh, I'm having trouble with my spelling right now. We'll just stay with Arial. Okay, so you just click to change the font to one of the branded fonts. And what are the branded fonts? Well, you'll find those. I mostly use Montserrat, and but Arial is also okay. And with the new updated brand manual on the brand portal, there are 2 new fonts, very exciting. I haven't even had a chance to try it out yet, but there are 2 very fancy, beautiful looking fonts that we can use on special occasions, you know, to really jazz up our graphics. Okay, so that list of fonts, that you'll find that in the PDF file that I will post in a moment. Okay, so just say you wanted to add an extra text box, then you could either, what I normally do is I'll click on, and in fact, that's how I created this section here about the featured speakers. What I did was for the original text box that I had in the template, newsletter template, after I fixed the font, I then just clicked on it, and then you can see here, duplicate. Okay, you can duplicate that. And then now you've got a whole new text box, and you don't even have to bother about the font because that's already been done. Okay, so, and then if you don't like that, you want to get rid of it, just click the trash can here and it's gone. Okay, and for example, here, how I created the November 2nd, November 16 text box, I think I just duplicated this one, but I wanted the font, after I started typing the information, I realized that I don't have enough space to keep the same font size. And it might actually be better from a design point of view to make the November 2nd, November 16 information a little bit smaller. Okay, so what I did was I clicked on this and I just changed the font size. Okay, right up the top, you can just, or what you can do is just drag it here. Okay, so if you've done one, okay, just for example, you've done one and you want the second one to follow the same format as the first box, what you can do is you click on the one you've worked on, and then up the top, on the near the very top, there's a roller icon. That's where you can copy style. Okay, so you just click that and then click on your second box. And that way, both boxes, text boxes, are the same. Everything the same, the font and the font size. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to move on to the next part, the last part. We're in the home stretch. Okay, so now, let me see. Okay, so now this is the branded flyers. Okay, I'm back here. All right. Okay, so this is an example of a recent or the current one from Smedley Chapter 1. Okay, shout out to Carlos and Junaidi, who are from that club. So this is just an example of a flyer, and this was made using a template. So modified a little bit from a template in terms of the design, but basically the beginning of this was from a template, okay? And let me just quickly, let me just get out of this and I'll go to Canva now. Okay. All right, here we go. Now, one thing I want to mention before I get started with the designing part is the size. What kind of template size should you choose? I quite like the, I think this is the banner size, but most of my designs, I would say, are the Facebook size. Let's see, Facebook size. Okay, or up the top here, you can select social media. Okay, all right. So Facebook post landscape. Okay, that is probably one of the more universal sizes that you can post across different platforms. Okay, it doesn't fit in Meetup. For Meetup, you need to resize your Facebook post graphic, but that's another story. All right, so let's come back to our graphic here. Okay, so this came from a template. Probably can't find the template anymore, but anyway, so what you can do is, and you see, I've done exactly the same thing as I've explained in the for the Zoom background, also the newsletter. First thing I always do is switch out the colors, okay, and the fonts. All right, that's what I do. And one thing I want to mention about the picture file here, so you can see this time is different to what I showed you in the newsletter. Now this is a circle frame. So the circle frame did come with the original design template, but let me just show you where to find them. So on the left-hand side, the black strip menu, so you look up elements and up the top, search for frame. Okay, and then see we have the picture frames here. Look at all of them. There are so many, and some of them are so cool. Okay, so if you take a little bit of time to look around, if you just want something simple, you know, here's the simple circle one with no border. There's another, let's see, I think I saw the border. Yeah, okay. So here's another one with a thin border, thin blue border. And then here's another one with a thick blue border. So the sky's the limit. There are so many options. Okay, you can have an oval one like a mirror frame, or a fancy shape here, or just a traditional square one. You know, you can choose whatever you like. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of these. Okay, I'm going to use this one as the demonstration. Okay, so back to our black strip menu on the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth item, uploads. Okay, so you see Junaidi's picture here. Okay, so this is his picture. Junaidi, hope you don't mind, I'm borrowing your image for demonstration purposes. So I've got this photo provided by Junaidi, and then I've got my frame there. I'm just going to move it using my mouse, just move it into that frame. And voila, there it is, looking good. Okay, so it's that simple. And it just so happens that Junaidi's picture is just the right sizing, so I don't need to crop it. But let me show you a picture that I did need to crop. Okay, that was this one. You might recognize Mr. Mark Lewis, past region advisor, also from Smedley Chapter 1. Now you see the problem here, the top of his head, see, we're missing his hair. Okay, so that's been cut off. So very easy fix. Use your mouse, put it on top of this picture frame, double click. Yep, double click, give it a second to work. And then just use your mouse to drag the photo down. Okay, you can move it up, down. Okay, I can't move this particular photo left or right because of the original limitations from the original photo. But this is great. Now I've got his hair, he's fully in frame, so that's looking good. Okay, so this is definitely something you want to take care of when you're putting photos in. You want to make sure that you double click to crop the photo to put it fully into frame. Okay, so I'm going to delete the whole thing. Okay.
I have a question. It's actually a little off tangent. I noticed that your cursor is a red circle. Where do you go in Zoom or whatever you're to change the color of your cursor?
Okay, my mouse cursor, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I went into my computer settings, and if you open up it's got nothing to do with Zoom.
Right.
Just in your computer settings, there's a section for the mouse, and then it allows you to choose, the size of the cursor and the color and that kind of thing. So just go into the settings of your computer.
I will play with that later.
Yeah, it's fun, because I do a lot of training, especially nowadays with Canva. So I thought I need to have a big cursor on the screen. So, all right, thank you for that question. And all right, so this is, and you see here when you have a poster for your meeting, a flyer for your meeting, you want to perhaps consider putting a QR code in there, and it's ideal to that QR code is your Zoom registration. Or if you have an in-person meeting, you could still have registration if you want to, so you can have an RSVP kind of registration. There's many different ways you can do that. And how to get a QR code? Well, I get them from tinyurl. You can do it in bit.ly as well. So, or you just type in Google, create QR code, and there are so many options, easy to do. But I personally favor tinyurl or bit.ly, okay, because I like to shorten long Zoom links as well. So that helps me to do that. All right. So any questions about design of your flyer?
I use QR codes, but I haven't created them and then tried to put them on a flyer. Is there ever any problem like when you're cutting and pasting that because the QR code is so specific, then once you paste it, it loses enough resolution that it doesn't work anymore?
I haven't had that problem when using the tinyurl or bit.ly. Like you can see here, it's quite big. What I always do is after I've put it in, before I download it, I will get my phone out and I will try. If for some reason it's not easy to scan, then I may make it a little bit bigger. So this size always scans well in my graphics. So if you make it too small, maybe it will be harder to scan or take longer to scan, but just definitely check it out. Try scanning it yourself before you download your graphic, so you know for sure there's no problem. So this is for an online meeting, but of course, if you are meeting in person, you definitely want to put your your venue address there, and maybe a contact person email on your poster. So some clubs do full A4 portrait sized posters. Those are good, and I'm considering moving to use A4 more for certain events. You can definitely fit a lot more stuff onto a poster if it's A4 portrait, But again, be careful. You don't want to, just because you have more space, cram every single thing in. Okay, so it might look too busy and have the opposite effect. So when you're designing the poster, other than being branded, you want to make sure that things are laid out in an eye-pleasing way so that people can just look, take a glance and can, you know, pick up on the information and feel like it's attractive enough, it's easy, it's clear to read, and of course the QR code works. So these are the considerations. And the logo that I've used here, there's lots of logos available from the Toastmasters brand portal. I've uploaded all of them into a Google Drive. That Google Drive link is in the PDF file. I keep saying I'm going to upload a PDF file. Let me just do it right now. Okay. That way I won't forget. Okay, PDF. Okay, all right. I'm uploading, it's uploading right now, the slide deck for today, which contains lots of links. Okay. All right, so the logo here, okay, I could have chosen any number of logos. And the thing about the logos, you know, just use them as is. Make sure that the space around the globe is at least the same width or height as, do you see the Toastmasters International word box there? Needs to be that height, okay? And so all around, I'm good. I've got enough space. So you definitely don't want to be putting it hard up or even just a little bit like that. That would not be okay from a branding point of view. That's definitely not the height or width of that Toastmasters word mark. Okay, so I'm just going to put that back to the right place. Okay, and here I've added this little text box, Founders District, just to make it look neat. Okay, so you can choose all kinds of different logos available, provided by Toastmasters International. All right, so any questions before I close this screen?
Got a couple, starting with kind of zooming out to bigger things. I noticed the record light in the upper left has been on the whole time. Any way that I could get a copy of the whole presentation so I could show it to my VPPR?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I have through, as long as you came to the meeting through registration, I have everybody's email for everybody who registered. And after the meeting, I will follow up and send, well, it won't be immediately after the meeting because I need to give Zoom time to download. But after I've got it downloaded, I will I will upload this into our district YouTube channel, and then I will share that YouTube link with everybody who's here today.
Okay, excellent. And the other thing was I came in a couple minutes late, so I might have missed it, but is there a getting Canva? You were saying there was a free version and there was one you could order, I mean, that you pay for, probably monthly fee or so.
Right.
What are the two options there in detail?
So, well, the most basic option is just downloading the free Canva. And, you know, I must have used the free Canva for over a year, maybe 2 years before I even purchased the paid version, which is Canva Pro. So I got by as, well, I was VPPR and president and VP, all those roles, but I was getting into Canva, using graphics to show information. And, you know, back in those days, I didn't want to pay for it. And I didn't know about Canva for nonprofit. So I got by perfectly well with just using the free version. Honestly, you can do so much just with that. And the other option is paying for the paid version, Canva Pro. And Julie, is that something like $149 a year or something, or $119 US a year?
Something like that, but I only use the Canva for nonprofit.
Right. Smart lady.
And as a
So-
club, you can try applying for it as well.
Yeah. So the third version is applying for as your club. Your club can apply for the Canva for nonprofits, and check out the PDF file, the slide deck. Look for the slide specifically on this. There are a couple of links there that will help you figure out how to apply. It's not that difficult, and the document that you need is also there. It's linked there. And I do personally know quite a few people who have applied as successfully on behalf of their club. So give it a go. Yeah, for sure. And I heard sometimes it can be quite quick from the time you apply to the time you actually get your Canva for nonprofit, can be quite quick. So it depends. Yeah. Thanks for that question. Great question. All right, we have 1 minute to go. And anybody have any other questions?
Got a last question, total tyro question. What's the difference between Canva and Camtasia?
Oh, I played around with Camtasia many years ago, and I just found it too complicated, and I just ditched it. So I can't say too much about it. I think Camtasia is kind of quite video oriented, isn't it? I'm not sure, but I looked into it years ago for video editing or something like that. Yeah, but
Okay.
Canva, I think generally speaking, is recognized as a pretty easy to use, platform for graphics. It really, the learning curve can be quite short.
Yeah, I've even
Okay.
seen professional brands using Canva for their social media ads. I've spent so much time in Canva, I recognize the templates.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, thank you. And that's a good question too. And
I have a question.
okay, go ahead.
I just looked at the Toastmaster International site and found the brand manual _or-2022, which was internally dated 5/2021. And you said there was a newer one?
Yes. So if you go to the brand, it seems that they have not removed the PDF version of the previous version of the brand manual. So if you go to brand portal, then you can find the information there. And
Great.
I also have a
Thank
link.
you.
I also have a link in the slide deck.
Oh, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good question.
Simone, one question is, for example, we are in Latin America and Canva only, supports the US based clubs. Is that, can you expand on that?
You mean in terms of applying for the nonprofit version?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Oh, by the way, thanks, Julie. Diana D. Julie has posted the link for the new web-based brand manual. So it's there in the chat box. Thanks a lot, Julie. Okay, and Carlos, because Toastmasters International is headquartered in the US, so you can still try to apply for the Canva nonprofit using the same method. Just do it on behalf of the club, use the club name. And can't remember the name of the person, but somebody outside of the US, I know for sure, has had success in that. So give it a go. Nothing to lose.
Simone, I did give it a go, and unfortunately they do ask for when you have to put in the nonprofit name and you put Toastmasters, it shows a list of specific clubs that have already been, I believe, accepted by Canva. And the only way that you can get it is through like contacting them and letting you in, which is a little
Yes.
bit confusing if you're in Latin America.
Well, check out the slide deck, the slide on this, because yeah, even if you're applying through in America, if you haven't already been granted nonprofit status, you still need to apply for it. Your club name wouldn't be in the list yet if you haven't applied for it yet. So, you need to provide the nonprofit status document, which is in the PDF slide deck. It's one of the links there. So, have a go at that. There is a process, when you apply for the nonprofit account, because the Canva will go back to Toastmasters International apparently to check something, and then once that's cleared, and then Canva will decide whether they give you the account or not. That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And so we're already four minutes over. I like to try and stay on time. Everybody's time is precious. So if you have any, I'm going to stop sharing now. And if you have any questions, I'm here to serve you as your, I'm just typing in my email address here. Let me just double check. Simone Nash. Yep, that's my email address. So I'm here to serve you as the district PR manager this term, and I'm passionate about helping you. So please feel free to contact me. My response time is pretty quick, so I will always try to help you. I love it, love it, love it when I see our clubs using Canva or posting reels or just promoting your meetings, because that's how we're going to get the message out to the general public and attract them to our clubs. So feel free to contact me. I'm here for you. So that's the end of our session today. If you have more questions, please feel free to contact me by email. I'm going to stop the recording now.